What's your favorite holy shit fact? Killer whales are natural predators of moose. In Alaska, the moose swim across from one island to the next and the whales attack them. Edit, as pointed out, they're not whales, you pedantic shits. Kutas, https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/chutus. A baby prince from Khwarizm, Persia, was sold as a slave after the Mongols invaded their land and killed all his family. He arrived in Egypt and rose among the ranks until he became the king of Egypt. Then he led the army and served the Mongols, their biggest defeat in their history, until then. The largest known star has a diameter greater than the orbit of Uranus around the Sun. A billion hours ago, human life appeared on Earth. A billion minutes ago, Christianity emerged. A billion seconds ago, the Beatles changed music. A billion Coca-Colas ago was yesterday morning. Robert Goizueta, Chief Executive of the Coca-Cola Company, April 1997. There's only one country between Finland and North Korea. The ampersand, and, is a combination of the letters E and T, so it spells ET, which is just Latin for and. The longest piece of English literature ever written is over 4 million words long, was written by a single person, and is a Super Smash Bros. Fan fiction. Edit, https://m.fanfiction.net/s/4112682/1/the-emissary-s-worlds-worlds-conquest. I think that this is the most current version of the story, but I'm not 100% sure. It's 221 chapters and is still in progress. While looking for the link, I came across a few interesting facts about the story. It's being written by a high school age male who started writing it while trying to learn English and just never stopped writing. It's over 8.5 times the length of the entire Lord of the Rings series, is currently at 221 chapters, and recommends what songs you should listen to while reading. The Immortal Jellyfish. https://en.m.wikipedia.org/wiki/turritosize_dorn2. It is the only known case of an animal capable of reverting completely to a sexually immature, colonial stage after having reached sexual maturity as a solitary individual. It basically has access to the fountain of youth. In the late 1930s, during some Russian Civil War, there was a group of Czechoslovakians trapped in Russia who needed to get back home. However, battle lines were drawn directly over the path home west and neither side liked them. So they decided to go east instead, since the world is round. They eventually managed to get a train somewhere along the way. The soldiers on guard tried to stop them, but they had a train. Guns don't stop trains. Once they got to the Pacific Ocean, they got a boat and sailed to the States. From there they trekked across America, sailed to Europe, and headed straight back to Czechoslovakia. This took about 1.5 years. Edit, thanks to /u/Georgie_K_Zhuka for fact-checking me. Amazing how they did it, isn't it? There are a number of people who were in Hiroshima and survived the nuclear blast and went to Nagasaki and survived the second nuclear blast a few days later. Christopher Lee, the actor who played Saruman in Lord of the Rings and Count Dooku in the Star Wars prequels, was related to Confederate General Robert E. Lee, was the step-cousin of James Bond writer Ian Fleming, was a flight lieutenant for the British Royal Air Force during WW2 and killed multiple Nazis, climbed Mt. Vesuvius 3 days before it erupted, tripped over a live bomb and survived, and released a symphonic death metal album at the age of 88. His life was one giant holy shit. You are the most recent result, part of a chain of reproduction that has never been broken since the beginning of life. In 65 years we went from the Wright brothers' first glider to putting a man on the moon. New York City is farther south than Rome. In time, we are closer to the end of the dinosaurs than the end of the dinosaurs is to the beginning of the dinosaurs. Oxford University is older than the civilization of the Aztecs. Astronomer here. The fastest pulsar we know of, https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/psr_j1748-2446 rotates about 700 times a second. This means the equator of the pulsar is rotating at about a quarter the speed of light. For those who are wondering how this can happen, BTW, a pulsar is a subclass of neutron stars, which are the remnants of stars that went supernova but weren't big enough to become black holes. It's a core made up of tightly packed neutrons that's the size of a city, estimated under 16 kilometers for this one, which rotates really fast. They emit a beam of radiation, no one's quite sure how, and as it rotates we see this beam sweep by. Most pulsars spin only a few times a second or every few seconds, but it's estimated that this particular pulsar got so fast because it has a companion star that's giving it more material, which gives it an extra kick. The second largest air force in the world is the United States Navy. Supernovas are bright. XKCD put it as such. Supernovas are so bright that if one went off and we observed it at the same distance as the sun from the Earth, that if you pushed your eyeball against a hydrogen bomb that were to detonate, it would be 9 orders of magnitude dimmer than that supernova. Woolly mammoths existed at the same that the pyramids were being built. There are more juggalos than there are polar bears. If you shuffle a deck of cards, the resulting formation has probably never existed before and never will again. King George V, Tsar Nicholas, and Kaiser Wilhelm, the 3 major world leaders of WW1, were all first cousins. They were all grandchildren of Queen Victoria and often spent their summers together growing up. If out of range for your keyless entry device for your car, put the device under your chin and slightly open your mouth to extend the signal reach. http://www.apartmenttherapy.com/tech-myth-the-care-rem-83663. The day before the oldest person in the world was born, there was a whole different set of people on the entire planet. In Canada there is an island in a lake on an island in a lake on an island. Source: http://m.earthobservatory.nasa.gov/iotd/view.php?ID =85342. The continent with the highest average education level is Antarctica. A little late to this, but Laos is the most bombed country in the world. During the Vietnam War, pilots were instructed to drop their leftover or undeliverable bomb cargo on their return, which just so happened to be Laos. Laos was not in the war. The US denied this activity for years and only recently has admitted all the bombings were planned to cut Viet Cong supply trails. Thousands of people since then are still being killed/maimed by the UXOs in the mainly rural country. The only way to identify where the cluster bombs are is for a special team to painstakingly walk every square inch of the country with detectors. TLDR, Laos has been bombed more than Germany and Japan combined for a war they were never in. A person produces an average of 450 grams of fecal matter per day. Neil Armstrong, born August 5, 1930. Orville Wright, died January 30, 1948. One of the first people to experience powered flight and the first person to set foot on the moon were alive at the same time. Saturn's density is so low that it could float on Earth's ocean. The crop scientist Norman Borlaug is often credited with saving more lives than any other person in history. He developed types of wheat that would produce high yields for farmers in famine-stricken developing nations. His work expanded the global food supply enough to feed an additional billion people. Prior to that, the title of most effective humanitarian was often applied to Herbert Hoover, of all people. After WWI, he was in charge of an aid program that fed about 15 million people per day in devastated parts of Europe. Dude should have quit while he was ahead. Now he's only remembered as a shitty president. Anyway, the reason this is my go-to tidbit is that both were born in my home state of Iowa. Gary Newman is older than Gary Oldman. The Vikings settled everywhere they landed and didn't mind the cold. Except for Newfoundland. That's how annoying the weather is there. Pharrell Williams is 42. but dude looks so damn young. The population of the world was half of what it is now when Kennedy was president. It takes an atomic bomb to set off a hydrogen bomb. Cleopatra lived closer in time to the moon landing than to the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza. The guy who wrote Rocky Horror and played Riff Raff in the movie also did the voice of the dad on Phineas and Ferb. All things considered, fat people use more soap. KFC is owned by Pepsi. Head explodes. If the space between the subatomic particles, protons, neutrons, and electrons, was removed so that the particles were all packed together tightly, the entire population of the Earth would fit into an area approximately the size of a sugar cube. Nobody born after 1935 has walked on the moon. In 1933, J.P. Morgan conspired to overthrow the U.S. government and set up a fascist government. General Smedley Butler was asked to lead the revolt but instead told U.S. Congress, who confirmed that at least some of his testimony was true. Nobody was prosecuted. If you were to take a picture of the universe, where our solar system showed up as a single pixel, it would be 14.66 times 10 to the power of 16th pixels wide. If you just wanted to display the width of that photo, not the whole photo, just a 1080 pixel thick strip, on a series of bezel-less 32 1080p TVs, you'd need over 76 trillion of them stretching 31,000,000,000,000 miles, about a third of the distance from the Earth to the Sun. Everyone knows the universe is pretty big, but very few people actually know how monstrously huge it actually is. 80% of Soviet men born in 1923 didn't see the end of World War II. You aren't stuck in traffic. You are traffic. The United States CIA actually really did secretly drug, abduct, brainwash, and torture unwitting US citizens. https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/project_mkultra, for about 20 years straight, mostly just to see what they could do, but ultimately to try to find a way to create mind-controlled slave spies that could infiltrate other countries. There are more stars in the universe than there are grains of sand on this planet. There are more atoms in a single grain of sand than there are stars in the universe. Beetles taste like apples, wasps like pine nuts, and worms like fried bacon. Tim Allen, aka Buzz Lightyear/Home Improvements, was a drug runner, got caught, and for a reduction in his sentence got another 30-odd people arrested. LOL. We don't know what matter is. Matter does not have a universal definition, nor is it a fundamental concept in physics today. Wikipedia, https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/matter. As far as we know, all mass derives from energy, not whatever matter is, if it exists at all. Horses wink their vaginas when they are horny. It fucked me up when I found out California has more population than all of Canada. For comparison, Canada has 35 million while California has 38 million. I also read earlier that India has over 1 billion people, that's like 27 Canada, and I can't comprehend any of this. Once Liechtenstein sent 80 men off to war, they came back with 81, because along the way they made a friend. http://www.omgfax.com/news/1385/Liechtenstein-sent-into-battle-during-the-what-happened. During a citywide blackout, there were several distress calls to 911 about strange lights in the sky. They were stars. Edit. According to a quick Google search, it was 94 LA, apparently. The relative size of our solar system to the Milky Way is about the same as a CD to the Earth. Probably will end up seeing all these facts on r/till tomorrow. You have 2 parents, 4 grandparents, 8 great-grandparents, etc. When you go back to the 14th century, you would have 1.000.000.000 relatives, but the population to that time was about 500.000.000. Months that begin on a Sunday will always have a Friday the 13th. Women can't touch their elbows together. When you look up to the sky at night, what you see happened hundreds and even tens of thousands of years ago. If you took out all of your veins and arteries and laid them all end to end on a football field, you would die. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. This, http://www.medicaldaily.com/86-holy-water-hive-and-teeming-healthy-matter-2568663. New Zealand is on its own continent that no one talks about, Zealandia. https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/zealandia_%28 continent %29. I'm way too late, as always, but a 0.1 mm dot is halfway between the Planck length and the width of the observable universe. If you lined up everything on Earth by size with a subatomic particle being at one end and the entire planet on the other end, you know what falls in the middle? A dust mite. Edit, I am totally okay with this being my most upvoted comment by miles. I weighed exactly as much on Earth as the Earth weighs on me. Australia once lost a war with emus. There was a man to survive the Titanic, Lusitania, and Empress of Ireland shipwrecks Frank Tower. Proof https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/Frank_Tower. Anne Frank, Martin Luther King, Jr., and Barbara Walters were all born in the same year. 1929. You never actually touch anything, repulsive forces of the atoms create this illusion. Fact, the fatter you are, the more attractive you are. Teehee. Gravity joke. If you were to travel directly north, south, east or west from Stamford, Connecticut, you would hit New York State. Sand is called sand because it's between sea and land. Thank you for watching the video. Welcome to Reddit Wisdom. Here you will learn the wisdom of the crowd, the wisdom of Reddit. Please consider subscribing for more Reddit wisdom.